Good day, everyone, and welcome to another session of clinical bacteriology, or also known as Bacteriology 211. Now, in this lecture class, we will discuss antimicrobials. Now, these are chemical agents po that are used to kill or suppress the growth of microorganisms. Now, these agents have clinical importance po, no, as they are used to treat bacterial infections. Now, on the succeeding discussions po, we will try to explain what are antibiotics and the different antibiotics and their mechanism of action. Now, traditionally, the term antibiotics po refer to substances that are produced by microorganisms which inhibit the growth or kill other microorganisms. However, no, in the modern day usage po, chemically synthesized agents that are used for the same purposes are also considered antibiotics. Now, antibiotics class may be broad spectrum, okay? So in that they are effective against a wide range of or different kinds of organisms. Some, however po, are narrow spectrum naman. So we say narrow spectrum in that they are effective only against a limited number of pathogens. Now, based on their origins, these agents po may be classified as natural, synthetic, no, or semi-synthetic po. So natural antibiotics are those that are produced by microorganisms such as bacteria or fungi. Chemical modification of the natural drugs naman po result in what we call semi-synthetic antibiotics. Now, on the other hand, synthetic antibiotics po are those that are produced through purely chemical means. Now, antibiotics may also be classified according to their effect on the organism. So when we say bacteriostatic agents, these are antibiotics po that can inhibit the growth of bacteria but generally po do not kill the microorganism. Bactericidal agents naman po are those that usually kill or destroy organisms and they are used po for the treatment of life-threatening infections. Now, these are terminologies po that are frequently encountered in the study of antibiotics. Now, when we say minimum inhibitory concentration, this is the lowest concentration class or dilution of a drug that is still effective in inhibiting the growth of microorganisms. Minimum bactericidal concentrations naman is the lowest concentration or dilution of a drug that is still effective in killing the microorganism. Now, the therapeutic index naman po is used to determine the relative safety of a drug. Okay? So, it compares through a ratio the dose that produce toxicity in the patient with the dose that is needed to produce the desired therapeutic response. Now, generally class, the higher the value of the index, the more effective and safer the agent is. Kasi one of the factors that is the basis kung ang isang drug po ay isang antibiotic is that it needs to be safe to consume or safe to the healthy host cell or safe to the normal floral bacteria. Okay, let's now see the characteristics of antimicrobial agents. Now, first characteristic of an antimicrobial agent is that, no, in order to be effective and useful in clinical setting, the antimicrobial agent po must be in their active form inside the body. Okay, once consumed, it needs to be an active form for it to be consumed by the cell, no, and then effective in killing the microbe. Also, no, they must be able to achieve a concentration, no, at the site of the infection that is higher than its MIC or minimum inhibitory concentration of the pathogen. Now, otherwise po, the antimicrobial agent will be ineffective, no, as the pathogens will still thrive in the infected area if it is below the MIC. Now, more importantly, the antibiotic po must have selective toxicity. Now, it is preferably po, no, to choose antibiotics that are toxic against microorganisms but do not cause harm to the patient. Now, this diagram po summarizes the different mechanisms of antimicrobial action. Now, some groups of antibiotics target the synthesis of cell wall and also cell membrane, no, a critical component of the bacterial cell that protects it from the environment and the osmotic damage. Some inhibits naman po the synthesis of proteins, okay? So by inhibiting po the nucleic acid synthesis. Okay, so proteins by attacking the ribosomes and its components. So we can see here that there are antibiotics that can target the 30S part of the ribosomes. Others are and others can target the 50S subunit of the ribosome. So examples of this antibiotics that targets the 30S, no, na part ng ribosomes would be your aminoglycosides, the tetracyclines, and your glycylcycline, tigacycline antibiotics. Examples naman po of antibiotics that targets the 50S part of the ribosomes are your erythromycin, clindamycin, no, chloramphenicol, oxazolidinone, and streptogramine. Okay? So, examples naman po of antibiotics that targets the cell wall are your beta-lactam drugs. Okay? Your beta-lactams, your penicillins, cephalosporins, and vancomycin are all antibiotics that targets the cell wall. Example naman po of antibiotic that targets the cell membrane would be your polymyxins. Okay? Polymyxin B, polymyxin A. Okay? And then some, no, inhibit naman po the synthesis of nucleic acids, okay, which will interfere with the production of essential metabolites. Examples of antibiotics that interfere nucleic acid synthesis, specifically DNA synthesis, are your nalidixic acid and fluoroquinolones. Okay. There are also antibiotics that targets the RNA polymerase, which is an essential enzyme for the nucleic acid synthesis. Example of this is your rifampicin naman. Okay? And then other examples naman po that targets mainly the processes that produces essential metabolites, like for example your PABA. Okay? So examples of antibiotics that targets PABA synthesis is your sulfonamides and trimethoprim. Okay? So these are the a summary of the different antibiotics based on their action. So we will discuss them specifically one by one, no, per group on the succeeding slides. Okay, so let us first discuss po your cell wall inhibitors. Now, the cell wall po is made up of different constituents, and one of them is peptidoglycan. Okay, so peptidoglycan po is a structure po composed of an alternating disaccharides, the N-acetylglucosamine po, and then N-acetylmuramic acid. So a short peptide chain po is attached to the N-acetylmuramic acid component, which mediates po the cross-linking with the parallel glycan molecules. Now, this cross-linking class provides strength, no, to the mature cell wall, and this is catalyzed by transpeptidase enzymes, which is also called as penicillin binding proteins or PBP. Now, the action of beta-lactam antibiotics po is to bind to these enzymes, your transpeptidases, preventing peptidoglycan cross-linking. Now, the active component of the beta-lactam family of drugs is the beta-lactam ring, no, seen on this diagram. Now, glycopeptides po is a group of antibiotics that also prevent cell wall synthesis, no, by binding to the components of the peptidoglycan, now preventing cell wall synthesis. Now, examples of beta-lactam drugs po, which are drugs po that contains the beta-lactam ring, are the following. Okay, so this is your penicillins, cephalosporins, monobactams, and your carbapenems. And all of these are cell wall inhibitors. Now, for you to better understand, what are cell wall inhibitors, so this is the chemical structure of a bacterial cell wall. So notice po here that the alternating N-acetylglucosamine, okay, and then N-acetylmuramic acid, and the small peptide chain and the peptide crosslinks. So these peptide crosslinks, are produced, by the enzyme transpeptidases, or known as your penicillin binding protein. Penicillin binding enzymes or proteins, which are targeted po mainly by your beta-lactam drugs. So when these enzymes po lose its function, so it cannot create cross-links between these two sugars, no, complex sugars, thereby, creating a disruption to the cell wall synthesis. Okay. So, another example naman po of a type of action of your antibiotics is by targeting po specific, production of metabolites. And one of these metabolites po are your folate. Okay, so there exist po antibiotics that are inhibitors of the folate synthesis. Now, the synthesis of folate po kasi is necessary, for the production of purines, a component of DNA, which is a type of a base, no? So drugs such as sulfonamides class and trimethoprim interferes with the enzymes, no, needed in this pathway. So sulfomethoxazole is a sulfonamide which competes, no, with the substrate para-amino benzoic acid, okay, or your PABA, in the binding with the enzyme dihydropteroate synthase. Okay, so please take note that your sulfonamides mainly target the dihydropteroate synthase enzyme, which catalyzes PABA to dihydrofolic acid. Okay, on the other hand naman, trimethoprim po competes naman with the enzyme dihydrofolate reductase, which processes dihydrofolic acid, turning it into tetrahydrofolic acid. Okay? So the effect of competitive binding by these two antibiotics is the cessation of the conversion of p-aminobenzoic acid to purine. No? So pag walang purine, no, the DNA synthesis is disrupted. So that is the mechanism of action of these two drugs, your trimethoprim and your sulfonamides. Now, there are also antimicrobial agents class that interfere with DNA replication process. Now, DNA replication po is a process again in which the DNA is duplicated in preparation for cell division. Now, there are enzymes po no that helps this process to occur. Now, these are your topoisomerase enzymes, no? And your topoisomerases 1, 2, 3, and 4 are necessary for the DNA replication process. Now, quinolones, no, are antibiotics po known to target these enzymes and prevent the process. Now, in gram-positive bacteria, quinolones po target the topoisomerase 4. Okay? So, topoisomerase 4, which is targeted by quinolones in gram-positive bacteria. While in gram-negative bacteria naman po, topoisomerase 2 naman, or also known as DNA gyrase, no, is inhibited. Now, DNA transcription po, or the synthesis of RNA using a strand of DNA as a template, is mediated by RNA polymerase. And these enzymes naman po is inhibited by the antibiotic rifampicin. Okay? So, disabling the elongation of the RNA chain. So, magkaiba po yung targets ng quinolone, no, and rifampicin po. So, the quinolone again is an antibiotic that targets topoisomerase enzyme, no, for DNA replication, while your rifampicin naman po targets RNA polymerase enzyme, which is an important enzyme po for DNA transcription process. Okay. Now, lastly, no, antibiotics din po are also known to inhibit protein synthesis by binding to the subunits of the ribosomes. Now, some antibiotics such as aminoglycosides and tetracyclines po attack the 30S subunit or 30 subunit ribosomal subunit, resulting po in the misreading of the mRNA. Now, others naman po such as macrolides and chloramphenicol po have affinity naman against the 50S subunit, resulting in the inhibition of peptide chain elongation. Okay. Other examples of your antibiotics that targets 50S are your macrolides, lincosamides, chloramphenicol, oxazolinodones, and streptogramins. Examples naman po of 30S antibiotics that targets the 30S subunit are your aminoglycosides, spectinomycin, tetracyclines, and glycylcyclines. Okay? Now, some of these antibiotics, however, have side effects. Okay? So, aminoglycosides may cause deafness, no, and loss of balance. And your chloramphenicol may cause temporary or permanent depression of the bone marrow, which leads to aplastic anemia and leukopenia. Now, increased dosage naman po of tetracycline. Please remember that increased dosage of tetracyclines lead to liver and kidney damage, no, and yellowing of teeth in children. And lastly, no, only aminoglycosides are bactericidal. Now, the rest of inhibitors of protein synthesis are bacteriostatic. Okay. Now, this table is provided po to summarize the different groups of antibiotics and their mode of transmission. Okay. So, microorganisms po, uh, in order for it to survive, no, to its environment, they can also adjust, no, and evolve, no, in order for them to accomplish resistance to these types of antimicrobials. And in this discussion naman po, we will see the different bacterial resistance po to antimicrobials. So firstly po, we will bacteria po can modify no their cell wall or cell membrane po for it to become impermeable to antibiotics. Now, antibiotics must be able to penetrate kasi the cell wall to reach their targets. Okay? Now, in some instances, no, the bacteria po can evolve and modify the components of its cell wall, thereby, no, rendering the antibiotics impermeable. Okay? So, some antibiotics or some instances, for example, in gram-negative bacteria, no, the negatively charged lipopolysaccharide component of the gram-negative cell wall repels negatively charged antibiotics. So some naman po, they modify their purines, no, which serves as the outer membrane channel po that permits the influx of nutrients and influx of waste products. This is modified by some bacteria, okay? So some bacteria po, their purines po are modified in a sense that it restrict the influx of antibiotics. So that's the ways no your bacteria can make antibiotics impermeable. So secondly, no, um, your bacteria naman can use the efflux mechanism, okay, or the efflux pumps. So efflux pumps kasi are proteins po, no, that pumps out antibiotics and toxic substances outside the bacterial cell wall. So some bacteria have evolved no to produce efflux pumps, no, to extrude no toxic substances and antibiotics na nakapasok po in their system. Now, your bacteria po can also fight antibiotics by enzymatic inactivation, so rendering them useless. So, a common example of this defense mechanism is the production of beta-lactamase enzymes. Okay? So, these enzymes po hydrolyzes the beta-lactam antibiotics, no? Saving the transpeptidase enzymes from being inactivated by these beta-lactam drugs. So, to counter the effects of beta-lactamases, the use of beta-lactamase inhibitors naman such as clavulanic acid po, sulbactam or tazobactam are given in conjunction no, with the beta-lactam antibiotics. So, ang tawag po dito sa process na yon that uses another drug no, to enhance its action is called no, synergy or synergism. Okay? So, other treatments po uses na beta-lactamase inhibitors to counter the effects of beta-lactamase enzymes in the bacteria. Okay? So these inhibitors function as substrate no, of the beta-lactamase, reducing their detrimental effect against the antibiotics. Now in the diagram shown here, we can see the conversion of penicillin, no, a beta-lactam antibiotic to penicilloic acid by beta-lactamase. So penicilloic acid does not have antimicrobial activity, thus no rendering no its effect. Now another way no to make the bacteria resistant to certain antimicrobials is that no bacteria may also modify the target site of the antibiotic to render them useless. Okay, so this happens naman because the modified target has reduced affinity no to the antibiotic in question. Now target site modification occurs primarily by chromosome mutations. So, quinolones are known to target DNA gyrase and topoisomerase 4 to inhibit synthesis of DNA. However, no mutations in the gene that code for these enzymes may result in modified topoisomerase enzymes, no, which has reduced affinity to quinolones. So, the same can be said with altered transpeptidase enzymes, resulting in decreased affinity naman with beta-lactam antibiotics. So, how the bacteria does it? It modifies now its DNA makeup. So once the DNA makeup or the code is modified, the resulting production of a certain enzyme now will be modified also. So lessening or rendering po the enzyme no um, rendering the enzyme po resistant to the antibiotic without or by target site modification. And lastly, no, some bacteria creates new targets, no, completely to avoid the effects of antibiotics. No, some bacteria contain genes, no, that encodes for a totally different type of transpeptidase enzyme that has reduced affinity with the beta lactams while some develop new enzymes that are unaffected by sulfonamides naman. Okay, so lastly, no, this diagram po summarizes the different mechanisms of antimicrobial resistance to bacteria. So for example, your beta-lactams, tetracyclines, and fluoroquinolones, they can be, the bacteria can be resistant to these drugs by block penetration. Okay, so for fluoroquinolones, aminoglycosides naman, and tetracyclines, as well as macrolides naman po, they are eliminated by the bacteria by using an efflux pump. Okay, and then your rifamycins, no, can also be um, blocked by bacteria by inactivation of the enzyme. Okay, and then for examples of antibiotics naman that are resisted by bacteria by target modifications are your fluoroquinolones, no, your vancomycins, your beta-lactams as well, your macrolides po, and your aminoglycosides. Okay, this is the end of our discussion. I hope you gather necessary information pertaining to our discussion. Thank you everyone for listening. Have a good day.